Like, you could tell it's just a very low budget type of movie.
Yeah.
It's not big. He's got a couple of crane shots in there.
Yeah.
One helicopter shot.
Yeah. And it's
of
very...
the bikes.
Yeah. And it's
very
always
quick.
when he's going around, you know, like...
One thing I know that I caught my eye is when he's going up that grade and that other truck comes by and it's that giant corn cob.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
back of the truck. You could tell that was so random.
Yeah.
You could tell that that wasn't planned.
No.
You could tell that truck was just driving by with a... Dude, this... Yeah, if you watch it, you'll see it's a giant corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Like, you could... Like, it's supposed to be in front of, like, a gas station.
Yeah.
Like the world's biggest corn cob or some shit like that. Like,
you could tell
it's
that's...
huge.
You're right, because you could tell because they kind of zoom out and follow that a little bit. They're like...
it.
Lynch is like, we're not wasting this.
Yeah.
Like, and like, the way he loves to just sit and observe. You know what I mean? Like, when the lightning storm's going on, he's like... I love a lightning storm. I love a good thunderstorm. And he's just watching. Or when he's out there with his daughter and he's just watching the stars. You know, it's another like beautiful thing.
Look up at the sky, Rosie. The sky is sure full of stars tonight.
And it ties into with one of the darker scenes when we find out when he was in World War II, he was a sniper. And he said, well, they would put me up damn near right in front of the line, and I would just sit there for hours watching. And it's amazing what you can see when you just sit and watch. Meditation, like, is just sit and watch.
I mean, is that it talks about friendly fire?
Yes. Oh, let's get into that scene. Like, fuck it.
I mean, it's the darkest scene. So he tells the other World War II vet that he killed one of the best guys in his outfit.
Yeah, a friendly fire.
In his platoon.
Yep.
But he didn't. No one knew. He never said anything.
We had a scout, a little fella named Kotz. He'd always take recon, and he was darn good at it. We went by his word, and he saved our skin many a time. We were making a run across the open, and we come upon the woods. We started drawing fire. I took my usual position, and I saw something moving real slow like. I waited 10 minutes, it moved again, and I shot. The movement stopped. The next day we found Kotz, headshot. He'd been working his way back toward our lines. Everyone in the unit thought a German sniper had taken him. Everyone, all these years, everyone but me.
And how true is that of that generation? Like, those guys just...
Like, he just
bottled
ate it his whole life.
Yeah, and it's just like he's telling this one guy.
One guy after all those years.
That's that scene right there. It just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, holy shit.
Another thing I really liked is the chair. The second chair. Let me pull a chair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he does it, like, towards the end of the movie, but it's always, like... I don't know if it's 3 times he does it, but he always has a second chair for somebody.
How thoughtful of him to bring another fucking chair. It's
like, for like company.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sit down. Here, I got this. Would you like to sit down? Here, I have another chair.
Yeah.
The all-American John Deere.
Oh yeah. Oh like the surprise of the fucking movie, dude.
Boer first breaks down. He comes back into town, so he goes to John Deere. But the sales rep at John Deere is the guy, one of the characters that's in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Big Ed Hurley. And you're just like, that fucking fits him perfectly. And he does a good job in the 5 minutes he's in it.
The salesman, you know who owned this? I did.
Sometime you can find out a little about these 30-year-old machines if you know who run them. Do you know who owned it?
You bet I do. Me.
All right.
Well, let's go. Like, yeah, I love that.
He's like, I'm always changing parts, but I make sure to order them and replace them.
Yeah.
Like, so that thing should have been, like, brand new.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Alvin's luck. And that's another thing. Alvin's either really lucky on this trip, or he's got, like, a divine watch over him. because he gets things like gifted to him, like that. A new lawnmower.
There is a bit of Christian element to it.
But Buddhist, too, like I said. There's a little bit of... Because Lynch is very much about meditation and stuff like that.
It is spiritual, especially when the stars, the gazing into the stars.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't concentrate on his daughter so much.
His daughter... I think maybe they had more for her to do. I mean, Sissy Spacek did a great job. Because great acting. Yeah, has one key like moment which is connected to that bundle of sticks. After that, she's kind of gone from the movie. There's no more.
Yeah, I didn't think she needed to be.
She served her purpose, which is for the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't need to be like in your face the whole movie, which I thought was fine.
I love a lightning storm.
Me too, Dad.
When I was getting back to the spiritual thing, like little examples of that would be the lawnmower. And remember when he's going down the street and it's about to rain, he just knows the storm's coming, and there just happens to be a shed there, and he just happens to get in, and the rain falls right there. And what does he do? Lights up one of his fucking swishers and observes it and just watches.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing about when he's smoking the swisher. He just like stops his lawnmower and he's just like lights it.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that's about his spirit too. Like the doctor says, you got to stop smoking and like you should use a walker. He's like, I ain't using a walker. He's like, all right, a second cane.
Yeah.
And he lights up his swisher, and then he thinks about it and he's like, you know what? Maybe I use that second cane after all. So he does, like, it comes in through, but there is still that, like, once again, organicness. He's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Something could be watching over him when he's going down the hill. It breaks.
Is that a lawnmower?
Breaks in front of those people that take care of him.
Exactly.
Like, right in front of their house. And they just push it. They just push his mower and his trailer up to the house, and like,
it's
you can
not
stay
even
here till it gets fixed.
Yeah, it's like
he divine.
There's a divine fucking element to this movie, man. Well, we'll talk about the end.
I was about to say,
we'll
get into the end.
Yeah, which is one of the big things about it. We said
let's start off. Goes into the bar, orders a beer.
I haven't had a drink in a lot of years, but now I'm going to have me a cold beer.
What flavor?
What does a Miller's Light taste like?
Yes.
After he doesn't been drinking because he tells that guy, I don't drink anymore. Was it the pastor that?
A pastor separated me in the bottle.
Separated me in the bottle
because he was a hardcore alcoholic when he came back from World War II, which understandable.
Pulls up and he's like,
"Yeah,
just give me a beer, one beer." And it's just one.
Yeah.
Just to give him that, like, satisfaction of he's been traveling so long.
Yeah.
And he's like, I deserve this.
And know what's great about that scene? We watch him drink that fucking beer. There's no, like, a drink and then we cut and then, like, all right, let's get back to the story. Nope.
How's it taste?
It's good.
We're watching him in that lynching way. No, we're going to watch him drink this fucking beer. We're going to watch that bartender go down, give the other guy his coffee.
How does Miller Lite taste?
Yeah.
He's like...
And he just... Here you go. Well, what do you think? It's good. He's like, this is fucking good.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then he asks him...
Where's his brother?
Yeah, I'm his brother. Can you tell me? And there's that last 5 minutes of, like, out of nowhere, like, a little bit of drama when he's like... Just that simple line when he's like, you go down Weed Road and then to the right... And there's Alvin's place. If he's there, of course. It's like, this whole fucking time, he may not even be there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like...
Yeah, because he runs into the preacher, not a preacher, but the priest.
Yeah.
And he's like, he came in on had the stroke. He came in that day, and I haven't heard anything about him after. So he's like, it leaves a question, is when he gets there, is he going to be alive?
Yeah, is he going to be alive, or is he going to be at a home somewhere else?
Oh, and another spiritual thing, he's all... You got up that last hill up pretty good? He's like, yeah, that and about 200 more, meaning he's got to climb hills.
Yeah.
There's an interesting rig you got out there. Make it up the hill okay?
That hill and 200 more just like it.
I don't know. I just got a little...
100%.
Another divine spiritual thing. Like he's... Yeah. And at the very last second, before he really close to his brothers, his fucking lawnmower breaks down.
Yeah, it's just out of nowhere. You're just like, what? You're like, how the fuck did this happen? And then some guy comes up and you can't hear it because Lynch is goes from a far distance, and I think he just like he's saying with that it doesn't matter what's really being said here. You know what I mean?
No,
Let's just see. This is just a setup to get to the next scene.
The end
you know,
scene.
Yeah. At that graveyard scene, when he talks about like, what do you want to do when you see your brother? And he's like, well, I just want to like, pretty much tell him, like I want to sit with him, and look up at the stars, like we used to do.
Me and Lyle so mad. Don't matter anymore. I want to make peace. I want to sit with him, look up at the stars, like we used to do so long ago.
And it's such a beautiful moment. Basically saying he wants to tell him, he wants to say I love him and I'm sorry and everything. But these are old school guys. They don't do that
say
shit.
You're sorry.
You don't say you're sorry. You go which leads to a nice little surprise. Who played the brother?
Yeah, well, when he pulls up.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
He pulls up and he goes across that little stream and the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's just this little shack.
Yeah.
That looks like something out of a Western.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a small little Western shack with a porch and a couple of chairs.
And it's a really small shack. It's not a nice house.
It's like a 1-bedroom, 1-room shack.
It's probably a place like that was built when they were kids. You know what I mean?
Probably has an outhouse.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah, and there's that moment when he gets off and he's like he just
yells his name.
Yeah, yells his name and he's just like
Lyle? Lyle?
Just a moment of silence.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh no. And and then luckily you get a response. Alvin! And you're just like, oh. And the whole time I'm wondering, like, who plays the brother? Who's going to be the brother?
Too.
And then I'm thinking, once I see it, I'm like, of fucking course it's going to be Harry Dean Stanton. Like, like it's fucking David Lynch. He's in everything he does, yeah. He's in Twin Peaks, he's in fucking everything, like, yeah. And, which was a nice, like...
touch.
Good. Yeah. That's even though you can tell he's, like, not nearly as old, in reality, but it's still, like, it doesn't matter. He's a great actor. He can pull it off.
He did.
And I love how when they they're standoffish.
Yeah,
pretty much at first.
But they're both like he's on the walker, he's got his canes. Yeah, it's almost like a standoff.
Yeah, it is
like a duel.
Until he says, sit down, and they sit down, and you can tell Lyle, his name's Lyle, is having kind of a hard time like trying to think. You can see there's like a little bit of anger in him, and then he looks, he's like at the lawnmower, and he's just like. Immediately chokes up because he knows, like, holy shit, he came states away on this lawnmower to see me, and it's just like practically all is forgiven right then and there. And he chokes up. You can see it's like
both of them do.
Oh yeah.
Did you ride that thing all the way out here to see me?
I did, Lyle.
And that's the end.
Yeah,
and then it stares off into the stars.
Yeah,
and I love that. They're fake stars.
Yeah,
but the way it, like you're moving through space, almost spiritual.
Yeah.
Like
they're
you're going to like the next.
Yeah,
the next thing.
Like it's a spiritual enlightenment kind of deal. Like not only like you could see as them going like all right, they're past. This is like not only that, but they come together. They can be like at peace now. But there's so many layers to that. It's beautiful, like, and I love how Harry Dean Stanton like brightens up a little bit. He like smiles, like it's not a real smile, but you could say there's a little bit of joy, almost like so much joy he starts crying like
That's
a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
And then he looks up, and then of course his brother looks up and like, all right, we get to do the whole thing I want to do. Is we get to just look, observe, like it's like that's
perfect ending.
Oh yeah,
by far.
And yeah, and then we see those stars, which I'm sure was it looked like a 1960s effect. I'm sure it's a little homage. No, but I'm sure like an homage to old Disney. Once again, like, no, we're not going to do computer shit, which is good, because it probably wouldn't have looked as good, actually. No. Like, you know, like... But, yeah,
Hey,
and, yeah.
Love you, bud.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
I think that about wraps it up. Yeah, that's a straight story. So would you recommend it?
Oh, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, when I told you David Lynch, I can tell you were like, oh, goddamn, another Lynch, kind of dark movie. I kind of was. It's like, and you're like, this isn't dark at all. This is totally inspiring, totally happy. You know, it's like...
I'd say it might be his best movie.
Yeah.
Now, people are going to disagree, and it might not be. Artistic-wise, not even close his best.
Yeah.
But just storyline-wise, that's probably why it's probably debatable.
Yeah.
Very debatable. But I know a lot of people would be like, no, not by far. And you're right. It's not artistically not his best movie.
Yeah.
But just storyline-wise and movie-wise, it's pretty fucking good.
Acting-wise, I think fucking Richard Farnsworth is a great fucking lead. He's just like... He was spot on. He's just standing there and looking. He's got that presence just rubs off. You're just like, I could just watch this guy like not do anything. I could watch this guy ride a fucking lawnmower. Like, and it's like, it's like, and you do, and you're like interested. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think it would be a good movie. You're like, oh, it's like a old guy on a fucking lawnmower.
Yeah, it's like,
but no, it's so much deeper than that.
It's like it sounds really boring, which in parts it's slow.
Yeah.
But because he's slow. It's like it fits. That's what I'm saying. It fits Lynch. Like, it really fits Lynch. Like, it's beautiful. But anyway, I just want to thank Steven for helping me out with this one.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for listening and watching. And
till next time.
Adios.
Yep.